Hey my cuties, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take an eyebrow spoolie and we're going to brush our eyebrows upward to help us get it ready so we can outline it. And I personally chose to use an eyebrow pencil because I like using eyebrow pencils, and personally I think they're good for beginners. I tried to use pomade, but I don't like it. But if you use pomade, you can still, of course, do the same thing that I'm doing. So you're going to outline the bottom of your eyebrow using whichever eyebrow product you choose to. And what I do is I start from the middle of the top of my eyebrow, and then I work my way to the back tail of my eyebrow, and then I work upwards to the front of my eyebrow. But I only do that when I get to the top. It's easier for me to do it that way. So once you have outlined the bottom and the top of your eyebrow, you're going to take your spoolie just to try to brush out those lines so they won't look so harsh. So you brush upwards, but I have some unruly eyebrow hairs, and I haven't had my eyebrows like waxed in a while, so that's why I take and drag my spoolie down my eyebrow also, because it helps to conceal those unruly eyebrow hairs. But you're going to continue to fill in your eyebrows in a diagonal motion once you've outlined your eyebrows, and then occasionally you're going to keep using the spoolie to brush upwards so that you can get rid of those harsh lines. And then I just keep filling in my eyebrow till I feel like it's dark enough and it's not as sparse looking and it looks the way that I want it to look. And if you're anything like me, my eyebrows are kind of different in the front. One of them is wider and more square in the front, so that's why my eyebrows are square in the front, because one is naturally square. So when I do my eyebrows, I try to make sure they're as similar as they can be, because they won't be exactly the same, because eyebrows are sisters, not twins, because one eyebrow is way thicker than the other one, at least on me. So if you are just like that, try to make your eyebrows look a lot more similar in the front. It'll look a lot better that way. But when you're doing the front of your eyebrow hairs, make sure you take the brush or your pencil and go and flick it in upward motions. It'll help to put brow hairs in areas that might not be there, so it can look a lot more realistic. But now on like a flat concealer brush, you're gonna put a little bit of concealer, and I repeat, only one shade lighter than your skin tone or the same shade as your skin tone. That is very important because you don't want to look crazy. So what you're going to do with that concealer brush is you're going to take the concealer and put it underneath that line that you drew on the bottom of your eyebrows. But don't go right directly up underneath it. Try to come downwards from it just a little bit, because by the time you spread the concealer, it will spread upwards. So therefore you don't make the concealer spread too far up into your eyebrow and then it messes it up. So what I do is I angle the brush downward so that I can pull the concealer down and allow it to blend out. But once I've done that, I turn my brush to the side, and then I outline the bottom of my eyebrow. It lets me get a more precise line that way. So I do it that way for the most part. And once you're done outlining the bottom of your eyebrow, you're going to take a concealer that's the same color. Well, I personally prefer to do the same color as my skin tone as close as possible, because it looks a lot better and natural, and you won't have an ugly halo floating looking eyebrow. But you see the way how the handle of the brush is pointing upwards. You're going to put your brush that way, as close to the top of your eyebrow as you possibly could, just like the bottom. And you're going to drag the brush to try to drag the product out to the end tail of your eyebrow. And once you do that and you blend the concealer out as much as you want to, or as much as you could, then you can turn your brush sideways, as I'm doing right now, to help get a more precise line if it's easier for you that way. I do this because it's easier for me to get a more precise line. And that's how I do my eyebrows, my cuties. Thank you for watching. Bye.